Hello, welcome to ZenView Studios Lab. Eric here. So this is the second video on probes for the spectrum analyzer. This time around we go into the details how I managed to modify some probes, all scopes probes. These are the probes that we're talking about. We'll see them in detail, and I've modified already one, and I will do the second one in front of you. The idea is to have the proper noise cancellation from the body of the probe that you won't get if you just put a resistor at the end of a coax. I'll give you also in the video the captures of what you have with coax, a one-to-one, and with a resistor equivalent to what I've put in the probe, and with the probe, so you can compare the results and why I did that. In fact, that's self-evident once you see the results on the screen of the spectrum analyzer. The noise level that is that's afforded by doing those probes is much lower, and that's obviously the bonus that you're looking for. Voila, so let's go into modding these probes, and hope you enjoy. Don't forget to click on the like button or subscribe if you like the video. Thanks. So some of the things were not recorded, so you will see the result, not the initial take. I don't know if you can see it. This is the result. Unfortunately, you didn't see me desolder those resistance. I can show you those. There's where the resistors that were there. And the most important part I will show you, if we can, is the Y's. The most important part, let's see if you can see. Yes, you can see. The most important part is what I did here. The way this thing works is you have the signal coming here, and normally it's not doing what it should. So I kept the trace right there, so that when the switch goes up, so you have three positions in the switch. This, which is this one, is either distributed to this one or to this one, or to this last one. Last one, it's the ground. So this is shorted. This way the input is shorted between those two. Or the input goes to this one, which is the 100 version with two resistance, which are one here, second here, and ends up here toward the point. And I put another resistance for the third position, which is the time 10. And that's this resistance here, and it's also soldered on this side. That's the trick. One thing you ought to watch out is the fact that sometimes you have problems with the ground and the main the signal here. So you see I don't know if you can see, but the space is very small. So this is something you have to test before you mount back into the shield. I'll show the shield again before you put that here. So the next step after I've soldered everything is to put back protection. It's fairly easy. You have to watch out because the PC board is really light. It's so don't. I mean, those probes are small, obviously. So you have a small PC board. Here we go. It's pretty good this way. All we need to do is put a piece of tape now, like they had. Unfortunately, you didn't get that on. I didn't get that on footage. Okay, I'll put this away and zoom back. Okay, let's see. We can have this light over here. So this is the probe. Now we will just put some light also for me. We'll take a piece of tape, just like they had originally in the probe. Voila, we cut it. they had 2 pieces of tape just to hold the thing in place. Has to be holding the thing in place and also not too thick so it won't interfere with the body. That's okay. They put one here, but I don't think it's useful. You don't need it really. So the thing not to forget, I don't know if you see, it's this little part here. Okay. That's because before you put the shield, if you put it without it, see the tape has to go in there, then you'll have to redo it again. Okay, the trick here, the last trick, and that's to get the point inside up, you push and it's clipped back on. And now, oops, don't lose that. You should, yes, you see the point here. This will go afterwards. Okay, now back to the way we dismantled this. You didn't see it on video, but I will redo it the other way around. So the first part will be this, the first part will be this one, going down. This has to go underneath, voila. You have to be in front, obviously, of the, so we don't interfere with the switch. Not like I'm doing right now, badly. Okay. It's too low. Okay, that's the highest position. So you should set your body just about here. And you can see that the switch goes to the different positions. Okay? Normally, you ought to, before you finish up the mounting, you ought to test your probe with a multimeter to see that what you've done is right. There's no short between ground and the main. So here we are in the first position. We should read between the tip 82 kilo, and we do. If we switch to 100, we should read 927, it's okay. And if we switch to ground, it's 11 ohm here, but it's really, this should be between ground and it's the cable, huh? Okay, 10 ohm, that's the cable. We should have less actually, I think, but yeah. So why didn't we get a good contact? Here we have a good contact. Here we have 17 ohm. Something is wrong, but I don't know what. Weird thing. Maybe there's a short contact, false contact here. It's the, okay, let's see again. See nothing. This is weird. Okay, let's go back here. 75k change, so this is not right. Something is not good. No. $928, that's correct. Yeah, 82, that's correct. Something was weird here. That's correct. Okay. Something was in short contact here. Okay, so now we have all the proper values. The first thing we ought to do is not this, it's to clip back this part, which goes over here. The trick here is to put the probe, the metal part here, so you can push, but you have to have something, yes, stable, so you can clip it on it. Okay, now it's clipped, it's okay. This goes there. And now you have to put back the last piece, which is right there. Voila. So obviously this will move. So this is the other way around. Voila. Now we have it here. And this moves from one thing to another, so it's okay. So we can push it a little bit more. Yeah, we have the 3 position. We put back the little point. And we'll check one last time that everything is okay. It should. Hopefully. Okay. So this is simpler. Now you can put this here. Okay. This is, well, position 1. Should be 82, it's good. Position 2 should be 928, it's good. Position 3. Nobody knows what it... here I should have a ground contact. This is what's not working somehow. Although that's really not really useful, but not... Something is wrong with the switch or something. Maybe. Bizarre. The switch is not making contact. That's the... Anyway, the position which are really of interest to us are those two. They're okay. We can switch that. We can check that we have nothing. We should have nothing. What's this? This probe is not working right. So back to the drawing board. We have still some kind of short contact. See, that's the thing when you do with old probes. Sometimes they don't do what you expect them to. So we have something that goes short between the body and the ground. That's the old story is with the ground. And this is where lies the problem. So we try to take it off again. Here we put it there. That's it. Let's not lose this. So now I will measure the resistance in the different modes of the switch and see if I can find what's wrong. Looking at the resistance I get between the different in the different position, see if there is any consistency, and see what the switch does really, and whether it's working correctly or not. To find out that in fact the switch has some problems. Fortunately, it's the last, the third position which is problematic, and the first and second position work okay, mostly. It's an old probe, but that will do the job. So eventually, that's that's what I found. So I managed to make it work correctly. In fact, there's some bad contact inside the switch. Now it should be okay. I will put it here. Let's see if we can see what's going on. good enough. Let's see. The thing was that we had problems. Here it's okay. Here it's okay. This is okay. No problem here. That's still okay. Yes. And there. Okay. And that was this position which didn't work so great. In fact, it should be a short between this and ground. And it is. So now the switch seems to be working okay. So we can reassemble the whole thing. Let's try to put this away a bit so you can see what's going on. So the first thing to put back is this. This is what goes in. But first, don't forget, like I was gonna do, to put back the metal piece if you have something like this. This is what makes for noise shield. Okay, and then this should go back in here. Okay, this is too much. Sorry. Okay. There we go. This is okay. So now the trick is this one. To put it back here, you have to set the metal part there. So you can clip this back without doing what I did. Now you heard the click. That's good enough. There you can put back the ground lid, which also will fix this. And we screw back the little point there. Okay, so we got this. Lastly but not least, this part of the probe. And this is again a bit pain. Okay. So now the thing is to see if this is, okay. The three positions are okay now. 1, 2, 3. Okay, once we've put all this together, because you need to check last time if it's working fine. That's the real test. See if you have 82. Nothing with the ground. That's okay. 928. Nothing with the ground. And last position. The switch doesn't work, but that's okay. Okay, we're back to this position. That's the most important part. And nothing with the ground. Okay, so we are all set, and this is finished. Ready to be tested on the spectrum analyzer. So this is the setup. I will show you the recordings, the captures directly on the screen. But with the two probes, one going to the left channel and the other one going to the right channel, connected to one of the output of the generator. That's a look back mode test. Gives you the best possible numbers and figures for the setup, because there's no, you just see the added noise that one probe versus the other might have. That's all. So this is the screen of the spectrum analyzer. You can see the right channel has in the bottom part of the frequency some spurs, extra spurs, and we'll see the zoom of that specific part just on that right channel. That's what the noise that the probe brings. Here it is. That's just this kind of noise that's added by the probe, and that makes the little difference that you have in terms of response and not achieving the full potential of the spectrum analyzer. Last but not least, here the two probes connected in loopback mode to the same channel, and I'll show you also the capture for this. The numbers are exactly the same or really close, so you can look it up on the capture afterwards. So now you can see left and right channels have same numbers, just a 0.1 dB difference. The spurs are identical left and right. There's no more difference between the red and the yellow as it was before. So the probe might have just 0.1 dB difference. That's the resistor, but besides, no more noise difference, and that's what counts and what we achieved here. The previous comparison was made with a probe made of a resistor without shield. That was the difference compared to a regular probe.